I remember the first time I went fishing with the experts. It was a sunny day with a slight breeze blowing through the trees. We set out early in the morning, armed with our fishing gear and a sense of excitement. The experts were a group of seasoned fishermen who had been fishing for years, and I was eager to learn from them. As we sailed out into the open water, the experts shared their tips and tricks with me. They showed me how to cast my line properly, how to bait the hook, and how to reel in a big catch. I listened intently, soaking up their knowledge like a sponge. It wasn't long before we started to see some action. The experts were reeling in fish left and right, their lines practically singing as they pulled in one catch after another. I watched in awe as they expertly maneuvered their rods, their movements smooth and practiced. I tried to emulate their technique, but my efforts were clumsy in comparison. I struggled to cast my line properly, and when I did manage to hook a fish, I fumbled with the reel, almost losing my catch in the process. The experts chuckled good-naturedly, offering me pointers and encouragement. Despite my lack of skill, I was determined to catch a fish of my own. I kept casting my line, trying different baits and techniques in the hopes of attracting a bite. Hours passed and the sun climbed higher in the sky, but still, I had no luck. Just when I was starting to feel discouraged, I felt a tug on my line. My heart leaped with excitement as I reeled in my catch, the line pulling taut with the weight of the fish. With the experts cheering me on, I fought to bring the fish closer to the boat, my arms straining with the effort. Finally, I managed to haul the fish on board, a gleaming silver creature that thrashed and flopped on the deck. The experts congratulated me, clapping me on the back and praising my perseverance. I beamed with pride, feeling a sense of accomplishment unlike any I had experienced before. As the day wore on, we continued to fish, the experts regaling me with stories of their past catches and adventures on the water. I listened with rapt attention, hanging on their every word as they described the thrill of reeling in a massive marlin or the challenge of landing a feisty trout. Suddenly, one of the experts let out a shout, pointing excitedly towards the water. We all turned to see a massive shadow moving beneath the surface, a dark shape that seemed to dwarf everything around it. The experts exchanged knowing looks, their eyes alight with anticipation. Without a word, they sprang into action, grabbing their heaviest rods and baiting their hooks with the biggest, juiciest lures they had. I watched in awe as they cast their lines, the bait sinking deep into the water in search of the elusive giant lurking below. Minutes passed, then hours, with no sign of the monster fish. The experts grew restless, their excitement turning to frustration as they waited for a bite that never came. I could sense their disappointment, their hopes fading with each passing moment. Just when it seemed like all was lost, there was a sudden, violent tug on one of the lines. The experts sprang into action, their muscles straining as they fought to reel in the massive fish. I watched in awe as they battled the creature, their faces set in grim determination. After what felt like an eternity, the fish finally broke the surface, a massive marlin that gleamed in the sunlight. The experts whooped with joy, their shouts echoing across the water as they hauled the fish on board. It was a sight to behold, a true monster of the deep that had put up a fight worthy of its size. As we sailed back to shore, the experts regaled me with tales of their epic battle with the marlin, their voices filled with pride and satisfaction. I listened with awe, feeling privileged to have witnessed such a spectacle firsthand. That day, fishing with the experts, I learned more than just how to catch a fish. I learned about perseverance, about the thrill of the chase, and about the camaraderie that comes from sharing a passion with others. It was an experience I would never forget, one that would stay with me for the rest of my days. And as we docked the boat and bid farewell to the experts, I knew that I had found a new love in the sport of fishing, thanks to their guidance and expertise.